Hello everyone. Last time we have introduced the definition of meiosis and the three type of meiosis found among different organisms. The process of meiosis is the type of cell division, is a type of reduction division during which diploid cells of the gonads are transformed into the haploid gametes at the end of meiosis. The process of meiosis occur in two steps such as first meiotic division and second meiotic division. So, in this lecture, we will explain the process of meiosis, that is first meiotic division, which includes the stages such as interphase first, prophase first. The prophase first of the first meiotic division, is a complex and long and involves several steps, that is the 6 stages or the 6 steps such as preliptotin, liptotin, zygotin, pachytin, diplotin and dikinesis. Then follows the prometaphase first, then metaphase first, anaphase first and telophase first. Now we will explain the first meiotic division and the stages of first meiotic division one by one. So first meiotic division starts with interphase 1. The interphase before meiosis is very important. The interphase before meiosis is very important, and during this phase DNA replication takes place and it is confined to the synthesis of interphase, that is DNA replication or synthesis of DNA or the chromatin material so as to double the amount of DNA or the chromatin material in the cell of the gonads. So the process of meiosis, which is taking place in the gonad cells, that is testis or ovary, that is male or female gonads, undergoing the process of meiosis by the diploid cells representing the gamete mother cells, that is a sperm or egg mother cell, that is spermatogonium or oogonium in animals, and having diploid set of the chromosomes which undergo the process of meiosis, that is first maturation division and second maturation division, that is first meiotic division and the second meiotic division, and at the end of meiosis producing the 4 haploid gametes or the 4 haploid cells or the 4 haploid gametes at the end of second meiotic division. So in a first meiotic division, interphase of the gonadal cells is very important, as the synthetic phase of the interphase of the gonadal cells leads to the duplication of the genetic material. So the DNA or the chromatin material in the form of chromosomes, which is a diploid number in a normal cells, there is a diploid chromosome number or 2 set of the chromosomes present in the nucleus. But during the interphase, the synthetic phase undergoes DNA duplication or the replication, and the chromosome number, that is diploid chromosome number, become tetraploid. So the chromosome or the quantity of the chromosomal complements or the chromatin material or the genetic material in the nucleus get doubled prior to undergo the cell division, that is mitosis or the meiosis. So prior to or before to divide the cells, that is somatic cells or the reproductive cells or the gonadal cells, it is essential to duplicate or to double the amount of chromatin material in the nucleus so that the cell could divide, the particular cell, diploid cell or the particular cell, maybe somatic cell or maybe reproductive cell like gamete mother cells in the gonads would divide and develop into the daughter cells either with a diploid chromosome number similar to that of somatic cells, or there may be the diploid cells, that is gamete mother cells or the reproductive cells, which will undergoing the process of meiosis, undergoing two meiotic divisions, first and second meiotic division, and leads to the formation of haploid gametes at the end of meiosis. So at the end of mitosis, two daughter cells are formed with a diploid chromosome number, and at the end of meiosis, the four haploid gametes are produced with a haploid set of the chromosomes in the nucleus of the gametes. So we are dealing with the first meiotic division, and the first step of the first meiotic division is interphase. So the interphase 1 or the interphase before meiosis is very important, and during this phase DNA replication takes place and it is confined to the synthesis phase of the interphase, during which the diploid chromosome number of the cell become tetraploid during the interphase, and then cell divides and finally producing four haploid gametes at the end of meiosis. So first meiotic division, the first phase is interphase 1, during which the DNA material or the chromatin material or the chromosome complements are doubled during the synthetic phase of the interphase. Now this is a diagram showing a interphase uh, possessing the cell or showing the cell with a membrane covering, plasma membrane, then enclosing the nucleus with a definite nuclear membrane, and possessing the chromatin material or the chromosomes in the form of thread-like, very fine thread-like coiled mass of the chromatin material representing the chromosomes in the nucleus or in the nucleoplasm. Then it also possessing a prominent structure of nucleolus that is also found in the nucleus, and the cytoplasm of the cell also showing a pair of paired centrioles, which are essential component for the process of cell division. So this is the diagram showing the interphase stage of the cells. Then we'll explain the prophase first. Prophase first. We are dealing with first meiotic division of meiosis. Now first important step in the process of first meiotic division is a prophase 1, and it is very much complex and takes much of the time to complete. During this first stage of meiosis, nucleus starts increasing its volume due to the hydration. Means during prophase first of the meiosis, the nucleus size of the nucleus is increasing, and this happens due to the hydration, that is taking up the much of the quantity of water in the nucleoplasm and thus increasing the volume or the size of the nucleus in the cell undergoing the process of meiosis. So prophase first, during this first stage of meiosis, nucleus starts increasing in volume due to the hydration. It comprises mainly 6 substages. The prophase 1 includes or involves 6 stages such as pre-liptotin, liptotin, zygotin, pachytin, diplotin, and dikinesis. Now first we will explain the preliptotin. It is the early prophase of meiosis. Preliptotin is the stage of early prophase of meiosis. The chromosomes are very thin and difficult to observe or see, but only sex chromosomes can be seen. So preliptotin is the first stage. Preliptotin is the first stage or early prophase of the meiosis. The chromosomes at this stage are very thin. The chromosomes at preliptotin stage are very thin or with a complex coiling and is difficult to observe or is difficult to see. Means these are totally invisible. We can't see the chromosomes at a preliptotin stage because they are very thin and difficult to observe, but only sex chromosomes can be seen in a preliptotin stage. Then liptotin is also called as liptolema, liptotin or liptolema. Liptotin means the thin or slender thread. The chromosomes at this stage, become thin or begin to condense or the shorten or slender threads. So during liptotin, the chromosomes begin to appear or begin to condense, and this stage is called as liptonema, liptotin or liptonema, during which the chromosomes begins to condense or begins to appear in the nucleoplasm. During this phase, the nucleus increases in size. During this phase, the nucleus increases in size and the chromosomes become more distinct. The chromosomes become more distinct or begins to condense. Liptotin chromosomes look single rather than double. The liptotin chromosomes looks single rather than double. They appear as a slender, the liptotin chromosomes appear as a slender or a thin threads with the two chromatids together with the bead-like thickenings called as chromomeres, because these beads are characteristic in size, number and the position for a particular chromosome. Frequently, liptotin chromosomes have a definite polarization or representing their ends and forms the loop along the length of the liptotin chromosomes. This is because of their complex coiling. The two chromatids of the chromosome get fused together. The two chromatids of the chromosome get fused together to form a single thread-like appearance. Right? So we are dealing with liptotin stage. So during liptotin, the chromosome become condensed or begin to condense and appears like a thread-like or filamentous, and the two chromatids of the liptotin chromosomes fuse together and forming the loops along its length, or the two chromatids of the chromosome fuse together to form a single thread-like structure instead of representing the double chromatids or the two chromatids of the chromosome. So liptotin chromosomes look a single filament or thread-like structure and they appear as a slender or a thin threads with a bead-like thickenings called chromomeres along the length of the liptotin chromosomes, because these beads are the characteristic in a size, number and the position for a particular chromosome. Frequently, liptotin chromosomes have liptotin chromosomes have a definite polarization and form the loop whose ends are attached to the nuclear envelope at the points near the centriole contained within an aster. This peculiar arrangement is often called as bucket. During liptotin phase, during liptotin phase, cytoplasm contains polyribosomes, nucleolus increases, and RNA and protein synthesis also increases. So during liptotin phase, what happens? The chromosome which are previously very thin or invisible become visible or become condensed and appears to be a thin threads or the filamentous with a two strands kept together, fused together, and appears to be a single liptotin chromosome instead of double. So liptotin means the chromosomes during liptotin stage become condensed or appears to be a single thread-like structure fusing two strands together along their length and may form the loops along the length, and also shows the thickenings or the bead-like appearance or thickenings of the chromomeres along the length of the chromosome. So liptotin chromosomes look like a single filamentous or thread-like structure representing the bead-like thickenings of the chromomeres along the length, or may shows the loops along the length of the chromosome which have fused its chromatids together and appears to be a single uh, structure, filamentous structure called as liptotin. Then next phase is a zygotin, that is a mating thread or a zygonyma. During this stage, the chromosomes become shorter. During the zygotin, the chromosome become shorter and thicker than the liptotin chromosomes. The pairing of the homologous chromosome begins. During zygotin, the chromosome become more condensed or more thickened, more shorter, and the pairing of the homologous chromosomes begins. The homologous chromosomes undergo lengthwise pairing. The homologous chromosomes undergoes lengthwise pairing in which one chromosome has paternal origin, that is from male parent, called as a paternal chromosome, and other has maternal origin from the female parent called a maternal chromosome. So while pairing of the homologous chromosomes, the two chromosomes get paired along their length of the chromatids, but one chromosome is from one parent and other chromosome is from other parent. So while stage zygotin or the zygonyma, the chromosome become shorter and thicker, and the begins with the pairing of the homologous chromosomes of the maternal and paternal sides. So the zygotin is a stage of the prophase 1, second stage of the prophase 1, followed by liptotin, that is the zygotin. So zygotin means mating threads, or zygonyma means the chromosomes become thicker or shorter, means more condensed than the liptotin chromosomes, and then follows the pairing of the homologous chromosomes lengthwise, which are brought from two parents, that is maternal chromosome and paternal chromosome begins to pair with one another. So the pairing of the homologous chromosome begins, and the homologous chromosomes undergoes lengthwise pairing between the homologous chromosomes from maternal and paternal chromosomes. And this is the bivalent stage. This is the bivalent stage. Means during zygotin or the zygonyma, there is a pairing of the homologous chromosomes from two parents, and there is a formation of bivalent, that is the two complex structures, two complex structures of two homologous chromosomes, they brought together to form a bivalent, means the centromeres of the two homologous chromosome lie together, come together or fuse together to form a bivalent structure of the homologous chromosome. So each pair of homologous chromosome consists of four chromatids called as a tetrad. So each pair of homologous chromosome consists of four chromatids. Each pair of homologous chromosome consists of four chromatids called as a tetrad or a bivalent stage. Means the two homologous chromosomes undergo their pairing, that is homologous chromosomes undergoes pairing along their length or lengthwise pairing of the homologous chromosomes taking place during the zygotine, and two homologous chromosomes brought together from two different parents to form the bivalent stage of the homologous pair of chromosome, and each pair of homologous chromosome consisting of four chromatids called as tetrad. Then the pairing may begin at centromere. There is a peculiar pattern or method of pairing of the homologous chromosomes during the uh, uh, zygotine. So there is a peculiar mechanism or the method of pairing of the homologous chromosomes during the zygotine or zygonyma. The pairing of the homologous chromosome may begin at the centromere and proceed towards the end of the chromatid called as a procentric pairing, or it may begins at the ends and proceeds towards the centromere called as proterminal pairing. So pairing of the homologous chromosomes may begins from the centromere or from the end of the chromosome or the chromatid of the chromosome. So the pairing may begin at the centromere and proceeds towards the end of the chromosome called as procentric pairing, or the pairing may be begins the pairing of the homologous chromosome may begins at the end of the chromosome or the from the chromatid region of the chromosome towards the centromere is called as proterminal pairing. Pairing is highly specific and involves the formation of special structure called as synaptonymal complex. Pairing is highly specific and involves the formation of a special structure called as synaptonymal complex, and it lies between two homologous chromosomes as they do not fuse completely. Means while pairing of the homologous chromosomes during the zygotine or the zygonyma, there is a formation of synaptonymal complex, and this synaptonymal complex is responsible for keeping two homologous chromosomes together. There is no complete fusion, of the centromeres of the two homologous chromosomes, but the bivalent structure or bivalent stage of the homologous chromosome is formed due to the synaptonymal complex which is formed between the centromeres of the two homologous chromosomes. So synaptonymal complex is very important. Synaptonymal complex is very important in holding or keeping two homologous chromosomes together as a bivalent stage or the bivalent pair of the chromosome. So pairing is highly specific and involves the formation of special structure called as synaptonymal complex, and which is formed between the centromeres of the two homologous chromosomes which have been held together by means of synaptonymal complex. It lies between two homologous chromosomes as they do not fuse completely, and this complex is composed of two lateral components. This synaptonymal complex is composed of two lateral components or arms and a central or a medial element. Each lateral component is shared by two sister chromatids of the homologous chromosomes. So each lateral component is shared or used by two sister chromatids of the homolog of one side, and other lateral component of the synaptonymal complex is shared or used by the other homolog of the two sister chromatids of the another homolog. And in short we can say the two homologous chromosomes are kept together, brought together as a bivalent stage of the homologous chromosome, and this is useful for keeping two homologous chromosomes together. So synaptonymal complex is very important in holding or in keeping the bivalent structure of the homologous chromosome together. So each lateral component is shared by two sister chromatids of the homolog. Morphology of the synaptonymal complex is very similar in a plant and animal cells. In a cross section, it appears flattened ribbon-like structure. The lateral arms are joined to the adjacent chromosomes. The lateral arms are joined or connected to the adjacent chromosomes by fine fibrils, and thus the synaptonymal complex is the structural basis. The synaptonymal complex is the structural basis for pairing and synapsis of the meiotic chromosomes. The function of this complex is to stabilize, the function of synaptonymal complex is to stabilize the pairing between the homologous chromosomes or the homologs of the bivalent pair of chromosome, and to facilitate the recombination also. So synaptonymal complex is formed between the two homologous chromosomes during the zygotine stage, and which will hold two homologous chromosomes together as there is no complete fusion of the centromeres of the two chromosomes between the bivalent stage or the homologous pair of the chromosomes. So synaptonymal complex is thus responsible for formation of bivalent stage of the meiotic chromosomes during the zygotine or zygonyma, and the synaptonymal complex is very important to stabilize the pairing between the homologs or two homologous chromosomes, and also to facilitate the recombination, that is the next phase, that is during the Pachytene there is a formation of crossing over between the two chromatids of the two homologous chromosomes, and this leads to the exchange or the interchange of the segments of the chromatids between the two homologous chromosomes. So next phase, that is a Pachytene, that is a thick thread or pachynyma, Pachytene or a pachynyma. So during this stage, the pairing of the chromosome is completed. The pairing of the chromosome is completed, and it is a longer substage of the prophase 1. So Pachytene is a longer substage of the prophase 1, and during this there is a pairing of the homologous chromosome. There is a pairing of the homologous chromosome which is completed in a Pachytene. The chromosomes contract longitudinally so that the threads become shorter and thicker. So during liptotin, the meiotic chromosomes begins to condense, which will become thin and filamentous or the thread like. In a zygotine, the chromosomes become shortened and thicker or more condensed than liptotin stage during the Pachytene, and there is again a pairing of the homologous chromosomes during the zygotine stage. Then in a Pachytene, the pairing of the homologous chromosome is completed, and it is again a longer stage of the prophase during which the chromosomes again contracting or becoming more thick or more short than the zygotine. So chromosomes contract longitudinally so that the threads of the chromosome or the homologous pair of chromosomes become shorter and thicker, more shorter and more thicker than the zygotine. The chromosomes are associated. The chromosomes are associated together as a bivalent or the tetrad composed of two homologous chromosomes in a close longitudinal union and four chromatids. Each chromatid has its own centromere. Each chromatid has its own centromere or the kinetochore. Thus, in a tetrad, that is a bivalent or the pair of homologous chromosome is now called as a bivalent stage or a tetrad stage with a four chromatids of the homologous pair of the chromosome, and each of the chromatid is having its separate centromere or the kinetochore, and thus in a tetrad first, there are four centromeres. In a tetrad, first there are four centromeres, two homologous and two sister centromeres. Thus, in a tetrad or in a bivalent stage of the homologous pair of chromosome, there are four chromatids, and each of the chromatids is having separate centromere, and these four centromeres, two homologous and two sister centromeres. So there are totally four centromeres, each accompanied with the one chromatid of the bivalent pair of the homologous chromosomes. During the first meiotic division, the centromeres of two homologous chromatids behave as a functional unit, and the chromatid is the unit of the crossing over. So this is the diagram showing meiotic division stages of prophase 1. In a first diagram, you can see the chromosome, that is chromosomes which appears as a single thread-like structure. Instead of two chromatids of the chromosome, there is a single filamentous thread-like structure is formed during the liptotin. So liptotin means the two chromatids of the chromosome fuse together, lie together to form a single filamentous or a thread-like structure called as liptotin. So in diagram you can see there are two pair of chromosomes, one having much long chromatid or a thread-like structure, and one with a short or the small pair of chromatid. So the pair of chromatids of the chromosome are lie together, fused together, or intertwined together to form a single thin filamentous or thread-like structure appears during the liptotin. Then in a zygotine, we can see there are two pair of chromosomes which are representing a pairing. Means during liptotin what happens? The two chromatids of the chromosome lie together, fuse together to form or appears to be a single thread-like structure. Each meiotic chromosome during liptotin appears single thread-like structure. Means the two chromatids of the single chromosome, fuse together to form or appears to be a single thread-like structure in a liptotin stage. In a zygotine, the homologous chromosome forms their pair. The homologous chromosome pairing occurs during the zygotine, and there is a formation of synaptonymal complex between the uh, homologous chromosomes. In between the homologous chromosome, there is a formation of synaptonymal complex. So the synaptonemal complex with a lateral arms having fibrils which are useful in connecting or keeping two homologous chromosomes together as a bivalent structure, and that is appearing or is formed completely in the third stage, that is a pachytene. So in diagram third you can see, in a diagram third you can see the pachytene, that is a complete pairing of the homologous chromosome, and between the homologous pair of chromosome there are four chromatids. There are four chromatids in each of the bivalent, and this bivalent is kept together, held together by means of synaptonemal complex. So in a liptotin, the meiotic chromosome appears to be a single thread, and this single thread is formed by the fusion of the two chromatids of the meiotic chromosome in a liptotin. Then in a zygotin, there is a uh, beginning of pairing of homologous chromosomes lengthwise to form the homologous pairs or the bivalent structures of the homologous pair of chromosome in a zygotin. In a pachytene, there is a complete uh, pairing of the homologous chromosome, and also the formation of synaptonemal complex in between the homologous pair of the chromosomes. And in a next phase, that is a diplotin, the bivalent pair of homologous chromosome, the bivalent pair of homologous chromosome then leads to the process of crossing over between the homologs or the chromatids of two homologous chromosomes. Two homologous chromosomes, between in between the two homologous chromosomes there is a formation of chiasmata, maybe one, two or more number of chiasmata, that is attachment or the fusion of the chromatids of the chromosome along the length of the chromatid. One, two or more uh, chiasmata formation can take place, and this leads to the interchange of the interchange of the chromatid segments between the two chromatids or the two homologs of two different homologous chromosomes occurs during the diplotin. Then after diplotin, there is a separation of the chromosome. After the process of crossing over or the diplotin, completion of the diplotin stage, the next phase, that is a dikinesis, during which there is a separation of the homologous chromosomes that happens during the dikinesis. And in figure you can see the next phase, that is a metaphase 1. So during which the bivalent chromosomes with four chromatids and four separate centromeres get arranged along the equatorial plane during the metaphase 1. So these are the different stages. First 5 diagrams representing liptotin, zygotin, pachytene, diplotin and dikinesis stages of the prophase 1. And sixth diagram is a representing arrangement of the chromosomes, meiotic chromosomes, during first meiotic division at the equatorial plane, to which the spindle fibers get attached from opposite poles to the uh, centromeres of the each bivalent homologous pair of the chromosome. During pachytene, two chromatids belonging to two different chromosomes undergo one or more transverse breaks at the same level, and the breaks never occur between the two sister chromatids. The break is followed by interchange and the fusion of the broken ends between the two homologous chromosomes. This is called as crossing over. So pachytene, so during the pachytene what happens? During pachytene stage of the prophase 1, there is a completion of pairing of the homologous chromosome. There is a completion of pairing of the homologous chromosome, then is followed by the crossing over between the chromatids of the two different chromosomes. Means this leads to the fusion and the breakdown. This leads to the fusion and the breakdown of homologs or the chromatids of two homologous chromosomes or the two different chromosomes, and this leads to the interchange of the chromosomal segments or the chromatid segments between the two homologs of the two different homologous chromosomes. So during patching, the two chromatids belonging to different homologous chromosomes undergo one or more transverse breaks at the same level, and these breaks never occur between two sister chromatids, but this occurs due to between the two different chromatids of the two different homologous chromosomes. The break is followed by interchange. The breaks or the fusion and breaks, the fusion and the breaks during the crossing over leads to interchange of the fusion of broken ends between the two homologous chromosomes, and this is called as crossing over. Thus, each bivalent thus each bivalent consists of two chromatids and which are unbroken, and the two chromatids whose broken ends have been interchanged. So each of the homologous pair of chromosome or the bivalent pair of homologous chromosome containing two chromatids which remain unbroken and two chromatids whose broken ends have interchanged their segments, and this happens due to the process of crossing over. So there is a complete pairing of the homologous chromosomes of the bivalent stage of the homologous chromosomes during the patching, and another event, that is a process of crossing over taking place between the two homologs of two different chromosomes or the homologous chromosomes, and leads to the fusion and the breakdown of the two analogs or the two chromatids of two different homologous chromosomes, and this leads to the interchange of the chromatin segments, and thus each bivalent consists of two chromatids. Each bivalent consists of two chromatids which remain unbroken and the two chromatids whose broken ends have been exchanged due to the crossing over. Then next phase of the prophase 1, that is diplotin or diplonema. During this stage, the intimately paired chromosomes repel each other and begin to separate. Means diplonema or the diplotin, during the diplotin or diplonema, the intimately paired chromosomes or the bivalent pair of homologous chromosomes repel each other and begins to separate. But this segregation is not complete because the homologous chromosomes are held together by means of certain points where there are breaks and the fusion have occurred. But this separation is not complete because the homologous chromosomes are held together at one or more points where the breaks and the fusion have occurred during the crossing over, and these points are called as chiasmata, which are formed during the process of crossing over. Chiasmata are generally regarded as the sites where the phenomenon of crossing over or the recombination between the homologs or the chromatids takes place. At least one chiasma is formed for each bivalent. At least one chiasmata is formed between each bivalent or each homologous pair of chromosome, and their number is variable. Some chromosomes show one chiasma, while others show several. During diplotin, the four chromatids during diplotin, the 4 chromatids of the tetrad, during diplotin, the 4 chromatids of the thread become visible and the synaptonymal complex disappears. So during diplotin, during separation of the homologous pair or the bivalent stage of the homologous chromosome separates because of disappearance of the synaptonymal complex. So during diplotin, the 4 chromatids of the thread become visible. During diplotin, the four chromatids of the homologous pair of chromosome or the bivalent stage become visible and the synaptonymal complex disappears. A chiasma formed may be terminal or interstitial chiasma. At the end of diplotin, the chiasma begins to move along the length of the chromosome from the centromere, and this displacement is called as terminalization. The terminal chiasma slips off the ends of the chromosome and its position is taken up by the interstitial chiasma. So the degree of terminalization, that is T, is equal to number of terminal chiasma divided by total number of bivalents or the nuclei. So this is the formula with the help of which we can calculate the number of degree of terminalization or the number of terminal chiasma or which are formed during the process of crossing over. So at the end of diplotin, the chiasma begins to move along the length of the chromosome from the centromere, and this displacement is called as terminalization. The terminal chiasma slips off the ends of chromosome and its position is taken up by the interstitial chiasma. The degree of terminalization, that is capital T, can be calculated by the formula capital T is equal to number of terminal chiasma divided by total number of bivalents or nuclei. So this is the diagram representing the process of crossing over, chiasmata formation, terminalization and the rotation between the bivalent stage of the homologous pair of chromosomes during Pachitin or diplotin, where the two chromatids of the two different homologous chromosomes occurs between the two chromatids, that is fusion and the breakdown to form a chiasmata, and this leads to the interchange of the chromatid segments between the two homologs of the two different homologous chromosomes. So this is the diagram showing process of crossing over, chiasmata formation, then terminalization and the rotation, which will lead to the exchange of segments of the chromosomal chromatids or the components and leads to the recombination of the chromosomal segments between the chromatids of the two homologous chromosomes, two different homologous chromosomes. So this is just a diagram showing the process of crossing over, chiasmata formation, terminalization and the rotation, which will lead to the exchange of chromosomal segments between the chromatids of two different homologous chromosomes. This is again another formula representing the frequency of chiasma. Fc is the average number of chiasma in bivalent or in a bivalent of the nucleus. Fc, that is the frequency of chiasmata, is equal to total number of terminal chiasma divided by total number of bivalents or the nuclei. The rotation is well marked in bivalent having one chiasma. The rotation is well marked in bivalent or the homologous pair of chromosome between which there is a crossing over and formation of chiasma. The arms of the bivalent rotation through 180 degree and forms a cross. If there are two chiasma, a bivalent loop is formed. With the more than two chiasma, a series of loops can be formed along the length of the chromatids between which there are crossing overs forming at different points to form either one chiasma or one loop or two loop, or the more number of loops can be formed along the length of chromosomes, bivalent chromosomes, between which there is a crossing over. So rotation is brought about by same forces of the repulsion which bring about the terminalization. Then next phase is a dikinesis. So in this phase the chromosome again contract. In this phase the chromosomes again contract. The tetrads or the bivalent, that is homologous pair of chromosome. The homologous pair of chromosomes, that is tetrads or the bivalents, are more evenly distributed in the nucleus and nucleolus disappears. During this period, number of chiasmata diminishes or get vanished. By the end of dikinesis, the homologs are held together only at their ends. Then next phase, that is pro-metaphase 1. So the prophase 1 is very much long and complex and undergoing the several steps, that is pre-liptotin, liptotin, then zygotin, pachitin, then diplotin and dikinesis. So during which the tetrads or the bivalents or the pair of the chromosome get separating from one another, that is dikinesis. Then next phase, that is prometaphase 1. In this phase, condensation of the chromosome reaches its maximum. The nuclear membrane disintegrates and disappears, and spindle fiber formation begins. So prometaphase. So after completion of prophase 1, passing through several stages of pre-liptotin, liptotin, zygotin, pachitin, diplotin and dikinesis is followed by the metaphase 1. So in this phase, prometaphase 1, in this phase, condensation of the chromosome reaches to maximum. Means the chromosome complements or the homologous pair of the chromosomes or the bivalent pair of chromosomes get more and more condensed or thick or shorter, and the nuclear membrane begins to disintegrate or disappear. The nuclear membrane disintegrates and disappears, and spindle fiber formation begins in a pro-metaphase 1. Then metaphase 1. In this phase, the chromosomes become attached at the equator. In this phase, the chromosomes or the bivalent pairs of the chromosome or the pair of homologous chromosome get arranged or attached to the equator. The spindle is formed and the spindle fibers become attached to the centromeres of the two homologous chromosomes. The two centromeres of each bivalent lie on opposite sides of the equatorial plane. Metaphase 1 of the meiosis differs from those of mitosis as there are bivalents and each bivalent consists of two centromeres and they are being pulled towards the opposite poles. So in mitosis there are two bivalents. At the metaphase stage of the mitosis, there are two bivalent and two centromeres of the each bivalent are pulled away from one another or to the opposite poles. So in metaphase 1 of the metaphase 1 of the first meiosis division, the chromosomes become attached at the equator, the spindle is formed and the spindle fibers become attached to the centromeres of the two homologous chromosomes. The two centromeres of each bivalent lie on opposite sides. The two centromeres of each bivalent or each homologous pair of the chromosome lies on opposite ends of the equatorial plane and which are attached to the spindle fibers from the opposite ends and which will then pull the chromosomes from equatorial plane to the opposite ends of the cell. Then anaphase 1. In anaphase 1, the sister chromatids of each homolog. In anaphase 1, the sister chromatids of each homolog united by centromere move towards the poles of the cells. The short chromosomes separate rapidly while the separation of long chromosome is delayed due to the interstitial chiasmata. By recombination, segments are transferred between the two chromatids of each homolog, and each homolog chromosome, in each homolog chromosome, one chromatid is unchanged, while other has undergone mixing of maternal and paternal sections of the segment, and there is no division of centromeres as in an anaphase of the mitosis. There is no division of centromeres in an anaphase of mitosis. So during anaphase 1, what happens? In metaphase 1, the chromosomes become attached to equator, homologous or the bivalent homologous pair. The bivalent homologous pair of chromosomes get arranged at the equatorial plane, or at the equatorial plane, the spindles formed on the opposite ends, the spindles formed, and the spindle fiber is attached to the centromeres of the two homologous chromosomes. The two centromeres of each bivalent lie on opposite sides of the equatorial plane, and to which the spindle fiber get attached. Means in a metaphase 1, the bivalent pair of homologous chromosomes get arranged at the equatorial plane, and the centromeres of each bivalent lie on opposite end, and thus are pulled away from one another by means of the spindle fibers to the uh, opposite poles or the opposite ends of the cell during the anaphase 1. So in anaphase 1, the sister chromatids of each homolog or each chromosome united by the centromere move towards the poles of the cells. Then next phase, that is telophase 1, it begins when the chromosomes reach their opposite poles. So when the chromosomes from each of the bivalent reaches to the opposite pole, chromosomes may remain in a condensed state for some time. Later they undergo depolarization and become elongated or thin. Nuclear membrane is reformed and spindle fibers do not disappear completely. By cytokinesis in animal cells, two daughter cells are formed. In most plant cells, daughter cells are formed by forming cell split between the two group of chromosomes. In other plant cells, cytokinesis takes place after the completion of both the meiotic divisions. So, in a telophase 1, during anaphase 1, the two homologs or the two chromosomes of each of the bivalent are pulled away from one another to the opposite poles during the anaphase, and at the end of telophase 1, all the chromosomes from the bivalent pair or the homologous pair of the chromosomes are separated and are pulled away from the equator line or equatorial plane to the opposite ends of the cell. So during telophase 1, the chromosomes, the single chromosomes or the homologs or the chromosomes of each of the bivalent pair is pulled away from the equatorial plane to the opposite ends of the cell. So it begins, telophase 1 begins when the chromosomes reach their opposite poles. Chromosomes may remain in a condensed state for some time. Later, they undergo depolarization and become elongated. The nuclear membrane is reformed and spindle fibers do not disappear completely. So at the end of telophase 1, the the chromosomes, homologous pair of chromosomes which have been separated, the homologous pair of chromosomes which have been separated and pulled away from one another, that is from equator plane to the opposite poles, and this result into formation of two daughter nuclei with a formation of new nuclear membrane around the two daughter nuclei, each with a bivalent uh, homologous bivalent homologous chromosomes with a particular number. So telophase 1 begins when the chromosomes reach their opposite poles. Chromosome may remain in a condensed state or for some time. Later they undergo depolarization and become elongated, or again there is a formation of nuclear membrane around the two daughter cells. So there may be a cytokinesis at the telophase 1. There is again a cytokinesis, means again division furrow formed from the periphery of the cell and which deepens to the interior and divides into the two daughter cells, each with a diploid set of the chromosomes at the end of telophase 1. Now this is the diagram showing metaphase 1. Then where the bivalent pair of homologous chromosomes get arranged at the equatorial plane. Then during the anaphase 1, the homologous chromosomes or the homologs or the chromosomes get separating and are pulled away from one another and reaches to the opposite poles during the anaphase 1 and the telophase 1. So this is again a diagram representing telophase 1. So the bivalent homologs, the bivalent chromosomes, or the homologous pair of the chromosomes which have been pulled away from one another during the telophase 1. So during the telophase 1, the chromosome sets or the bivalent or the homologous pair of chromosomes which are dividing and again reaching to the opposite poles to form the two daughter nuclei, and each of the daughter nucleus will again acquire the nuclear membrane around the chromosomal complements. At the end of telophase 1, there may be a cytokinesis to form two daughter nucleus or may divide into two daughter cells with two set of the chromosomes. So this is about the first meiotic division. This is about the first meiotic division. So today we'll stop here, and next time we'll continue the second meiotic division. Thank you.